Namaste. Today I'm going to talk about this beautiful houseplant peace lily. I'm going to share the plant care tips, the soil, water, light requirements, and the fertilizing, and whatever I have learned over the period of time growing this beautiful plant. So stay tuned till the end. Hi, I'm Vaishnavi. Welcome to the Home and Hearth. Spathiphyllum or peace lilies, commonly called as, has been a long time favorite plant, house plant for both experienced as well as the beginner plant parents. It's very easy to care and low maintenance plant, and it blooms all year round. The peace lilies are tropical and evergreen plants which are found on the forest floors and they grow under huge trees. So this explains why they are able to tolerate the low light, withstand even the low light situations. Now they are adaptable and low maintenance, making them a sought after and common addition in the plant collection. It's a very common house plant. Now coming to the soil requirement, as I said, these are tropical and evergreen plants. So they require a very well drained soil so that the soil doesn't hold the water for longer period of time. Now if the soil is wet, and the plant sits in a wet soil for longer period of time, the roots get rotted and the plant will die. So that is the reason we need to put them in a very well drained soil, so that when you water it, the water goes off, like it just drains off. So it has to be a well drained soil. Now coming to watering, these are tropical plants, so they love water and they love moist soil. But they can also tolerate shorter periods of dry soil. Actually, I highly recommend to those plant parents who love watering often to their house plants. This plant is ideal for them. So what I do is I water it thoroughly from the top and until the water leaves the pot through the holes in the bottom. So that way the whole root system gets the water. A great thumb rule I follow for this plant to water is I look at the leaves. I mean, this plant is very expressive. It droops its leaves when it is thirsty. So the moment I see that it has drooped its leaves, that is when I water it thoroughly. Again, I don't let it droop it for longer period of time. As I said, it can tolerate shorter period of dry soil, but not too long a period. So I just see that if it is drooping a bit, then I immediately water thoroughly. This is a thumb rule which I follow. It's a very easy plant to maintain, as I said. So it just tells us when it is thirsty and you just have to water them. Now coming to planting and propagation. Planting, as I said, I'd plant this has to be planted in a very well drained soil. And repotting. I usually don't advise to repot houseplants most often. So I don't do that. What I do is, if I see that the plant has become root bound, that's when I repot the plant. And if you want to repot this peace lily, then the ideal time to repot them is spring or summer. And coming to the propagation, while you are repotting the plant, you can separate the mature plant and the smaller plant and plant the smaller plant in another pot. That's how you propagate the peace lily. Now blooming. Peace lilies bloom all year round, provided they are in a right growing conditions. Now the flowers will appear first when the plant is mature enough, and it will continue to do so all year round. Once it is mature, the plant is mature. Now for the blooms to happen, then you need to keep it in a bright indirect light. The mature plant can survive in low light conditions also, but if you want to have more blooms, then you need to keep it in a bright indirect light. Now another way to get more blooms is to place the plant in a dark area for a period of time, leading the plant to believe that it is in a dormant state. Now this will shock once this is kept in a darker area for some time. After that, you get the plant out and keep it in a bright indirect light. then this will shock a non-blooming plant to flower again. So that is also another way to get more blooms on your plant. Now, one interesting thing about this blooms is we believe that many of them believe that this is a flower, but it isn't. This is a modified leaf, and this is spodex, and the flowers bloom on the tip of the spodex, and you can see through the microscope only the flowers. So this whole thing looks like a flower. So usually this plant is grown to get these blooms, and the plant parents are very happy when they see these blooms in this plant. But of course, even the foliage, it's beautiful. This plant has beautiful foliage. Peace lilies are NASA approved air purifying plants. NASA did a study and discovered that peace lilies can improve the air quality by removing carbon monoxide, benzene, and formaldehyde from the air. So this is also one of the reasons why it is a very common house plant. And few parts of the plants is toxic. So I would suggest to keep this plant away from small children or pets. So quick care tips for this beautiful peace lily. Light, as I said, bright indirect light to get more blooms on the plants, and the mature plant can survive in low light conditions also, but to get more blooms, it's better to keep it in a bright indirect light. And soil, as I said, it has to be well drained soil. And temperature, it can tolerate high temperatures, but will die if it is left out in the cold for very long time. So the average house temperature is between 15 to 25 degrees. It works perfectly for this plant. And watering, yes, peace lilies love water. So the water when the plant tells you to water it, like if the leaves are drooping, that is when you need to water, but water it thoroughly. And fertilizers, they are not heavy feeders, so I fertilize occasionally. My thumb rule is once in 2 to 3 months I fertilize with seaweed solution or vermicompost tea. So that's it about this beautiful house plant peace lily. If you like this video and for more such contents, please subscribe my channel, and do share this video, and please comment about your experience in growing this plant, and do share some tips if you know any other tips other than the ones which I shared, so that I can also learn from you. Until next time, see you. Bye-bye.